Yesterday, I read this entire book about ChatGPT, and today I'm gonna take you through a journey on everything you need to know about ChatGPT so you don't get left behind in this new AI age. Think of it as a road trip, but through the world of ChatGPT. I've mapped out all the key checkpoints we need to talk about, starting with how ChatGPT actually works, what it can do, its limitations, even prompt engineering, and what does AI hold for the future? Is it all gonna take our jobs? So what is ChatGPT? Imagine a tool so powerful it can ace the bar exam within the top 90 percentile of test takers, generate you $1 million business plan. Or for the students out there, it can write you a plagiarism-free essay on whatever topic you want. That's ChatGPT, and it stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. I know that sounds weird. And it's not just another chatbot. It was created by OpenAI, and it was trained on a staggering amount of data. We have textbooks, articles, websites, you name it, it has been trained on it. This isn't just some average assistant you would hire to Google papers or whatever for you. This is like having a computer super brain at your fingertips. Imagine the power. Like, we forsake this power our phones have. So how does ChatGPT actually work? So ChatGPT is trained via a way called unsupervised learning. First, it's fed a massive data set. Think of it like the entire internet's worth of books, articles, and websites. And this model learns patterns, relationships between the words, and how sentences actually flow. But here's kind of the kicker. During the training, the model isn't really told what is right and what is wrong. It learns on probabilities, like what word is more likely to come after the next one. So if you say it something like peanut butter and, it will most likely say jelly. Now this next part is kind of insane. ChatGPT was trained on a massive supercomputer with thousands of GPUs, and they were all running in parallel. To give you kind of an idea of that, training a model like ChatGPT costs tens of millions of dollars. The next checkpoint is, will it take over our jobs? My answer is yes, absolutely, but I don't think you should be scared unless you have a simple, repetitive job. It's kind of like back in the day. We've seen this happen over and over again where new technology replaces jobs, but it comes up with new jobs for it. Like back in the day, you used to have to call a phone line that rang to a center, and they would say, hello, who are you trying to call? And then you would say who you're trying to call, and then they would move their line, plug it into the next one, boom, boom, boom. At one point, 1 million women were employed just by switching phone lines. But then new technology came, and then they just started working somewhere else. I also believe that in 5-10 years from now, all minimum wage jobs will slowly start to decline and fall off until there's none left. Because I was at the gas station yesterday, and I'm used to going up to someone, giving them my items, and then paying for it. There was no one. It was only a self-checkout, but all you do is put your items on a thing, and then AI scans it, and then you pay. And it already knows the items because it scanned the items. I was also, about a month ago, I was at Wendy's, and the person I was talking to when I was in line was AI. But it also replaces old jobs with newer jobs. Like, for example, analyze AI outputs, train AI models, integrate AI into workflows. So instead of replacing humans, all it does is shift the skills we need in the marketplace. So you just cannot fall behind in this new AI revolution. Like it or not, you have to adapt to the new world. The people who are going to adapt the most are the people that's going to win in this new future and marketplace. Now, one of my favorites, prompt engineering. That basically means how you communicate to the AI to get the best possible results. Think of it as giving the best possible instructions to ChatGPT. The better instructions you give it, the better response you're gonna get. So instead of telling ChatGPT, write me an essay about AI, tell it, write me a 1,000-word essay at a 12th grade reading level and talk like Shakespeare to get the best results. Also, the longer your prompt and the longer the AI outputs, the more expensive it's going to be because it uses tokens. So in a operational environment, you would want to be very specific with your prompts. You need to provide context and experiment. Sometimes if I am scripting up something or I want code for an app or something, what I'll do is I'll spend 5-10 minutes researching and creating a Google Doc of the proper prompt that I want. And then I can even query ChatGPT and say, look, this is what I want you to do. Can you give me 5 questions that I can answer to help you create the best prompt that I can give you? So I have ChatGPT help me make the prompt for it. The next thing is hallucinations. No, ChatGPT is not seeing things. What that means is it will generate something not plausible and not true at all. Basically, ChatGPT operates on a pattern it sees in its training data. So if your prompt doesn't give it enough context, it might make up things to fill in words. Like it might tell you a historical event as a fact, but it never happened and it's just a made up story. But that is where humans come in. So if you're using ChatGPT for work or school, just make sure to fact check these things because it could be making something up. I had to take the jacket off, it was too hot. But the next one we're talking about is how are businesses using ChatGPT? Because honestly, it's completely reshaping the way businesses and industries operate. The first one is customer service. Have you ever been on like a website and you see this little AI chatbot at the bottom that says, ask me questions or anything like that? That is how they're implementing it. And also, if you go to checkout, AI will see the items in your cart and it will actually recommend more items for you to buy. The next one is marketing. So I used to do this. I had an online fitness coaching business and I had an email list with like 4,000 or 5,000 people on it. And I would have ChatGPT write up all of my emails for it. Also content generation, social media posts, and even product descriptions and websites. The next way businesses are using it is coding and development. I use coding all the time with ChatGPT. It's like having a mentor or a coding coach 24/7 anytime you want. And in healthcare, it's being used to diagnose people with things and also scan images. So think of if someone takes a brain scan, ChatGPT can look at the brain scan and say, yep, this is what's wrong with it, opposed to a doctor that has to look at it for 30 minutes and then go consult with other doctors and say, well, is that, do you think that's what that is? No, AI, ChatGPT, it knows. And in finance, it can be used to watch market trends and what it's doing, and then make predictions on what it thinks the market's gonna do. Next is responsible AI. So with great power comes great responsibility. And this book dives deep into why responsible AI is so important. So first you have ethics and bias. If you train a model on loads of news articles or things you see online, it's going to be biased to whatever that news people think or whatever that article thinks. Then we have safeguards. These are kind of known as guardrails. It's to stop people from using ChatGPT to make insane, weird images or tell them how to make BO and B. If you guys did like this video, make sure to leave comment suggestions on what videos you want to see next and make sure to hit that subscribe button.